Get back out. Did you notice the back in the saddle reference? You know, the Rockies, the cowboy theme. I thought that was kind of cute.
Just went right on past.
You didn't like it?
No, I love it. It's perfect, Rock.
I tried.
I mean, they're the Rockies and you're the Rock. I thought maybe there was something there you could work with, but apparently not.
No.
Dexter Fowler leads off. There you see the home plate umpire, Dan Bellino. The fill-in umpire for the crew chief, Ed Hickox. Phil Cuzzy, Tom Halyard, and Jerry Crawford are on the bases. Dexter Fowler, one of the young Rockies, back in that leadoff spot. Very fast center fielder, putting together some decent numbers. Fowler batting .257, his on-base percentage just shy of .360.
Now the running game more an important part of their offense for the Rockies than in years past. These guys are around the middle of the pack in stolen bases. They've got some pretty good speed, particularly at the top of the order. And Fowler with 11 stolen bases. Jim Tracy is trying to relax his ball club. They say that since he's taken over, it's a much more relaxed atmosphere around the ballpark for the Rockies.
Well, it can be a little tense when a manager is on his last legs, as Clint Hurdle was before the Rockies let him go, especially in the weeks leading up to a firing of a manager. And I think, Rock, you made a good point during Brewers Live pregame today that when a manager is fired, whether you like the guy or not, players step up and take notice.
They take responsibility. If they were doing what they were supposed to be doing all year, Clint Hurdle would still be managing. And I was a member of two teams that, when a manager got fired, Rene Lachemann in '84 and George Bamberger. It wasn't so much a firing. George was kind of asked to relieve his services with the Brewers. That was back in the middle '80s. Yeah, you feel bad about it. You really do. And the one thing the Rockies have done, they've responded. They didn't start out all that well, but they won 5 straight. That one didn't miss by much. It's kind of the way it went for Looper in Florida in that 5th inning.
Well, Fowler pops it up, a long at bat, but Looper finally gets him as Gamble hauls it in for the out. Well, speaking of the managerial change in Colorado, our Carsoup.com email the booth question tonight. How do the players respond to a manager being fired in the middle of a season? It was the end of the season last year when Ned Yost was let go and Dale Swaim took over. Just 12 games remaining, and the Brewers, for me anyway, really didn't change much on how they. Now the lineup changed a little bit under Dale Swaim, but as far as the day-to-day activity, it really didn't change all that much. I think it's a different story here in Colorado, though.
Well, whether you like a guy or not, I could just speak for what happened when the managers got fired when I was playing. You kind of take responsibility for that. I mean, you think to yourself, what could I have done differently? Guys talk about it back at the hotel. You maybe go out to dinner after a ball game. You feel bad whether you like the guy or not. You mentioned it. You never like to see anybody get fired, but the guys are starting to take responsibility. The other thing is, it kind of tells you as a player, organization is looking at people and they're going to get rid of people that aren't getting a job done. It may be you next.
There's an accountability factor for sure. Well, since the Rockies put Jim Tracy in that spot, they've won 7 of 11. They started their road trip losing the first 3 games against the Houston Astros. Won the final game of that Astros series in Houston and then swept the Cardinals in a 4-game set. Todd Helton's been good for the Rockies this year all season. Had off-season back surgery and has his batting average up over 300. 7 homers, 41 runs batted in.
Well, one of the best at his position in the last 15 years. Todd Helton, very good defensively. Tough out at the plate. He'll use the whole field, and no telling what kind of numbers he may have put up had he not had so many of those back issues throughout his career.
A career .328 batting average, and has amassed numbers that make you take a look at his Hall of Fame credentials down the road. Helton said he's nowhere near being done yet. He wants to play a lot longer, and that back surgery has really freed him up, Rock, where his career was looking like it was headed to an end.
Yeah.
Now he's been rejuvenated in Colorado.
But the thing was, he was out there and playing, and it certainly affected his power.
Lines that one down the line. That is a foul ball, just missed.
There are guys that will play hurt. There are guys that will not play hurt. Todd Helton certainly one of the guys that will play hurt. It affected his numbers, you know that. So what we're talking about, Todd Helton taking the ball to the opposite field, does it very well, particularly with 2 strikes. A guy that very rarely strikes out.
2-2 the count on Helton. And down he goes. Looper strikes him out. And the inning ends. Looper a scoreless first. We got draft news for you. The Brewers made their pick.
In the first round of the 2009 first-year player draft, the Milwaukee Brewers select Eric Arnett, a right-handed pitcher from Indiana University, Bloomington, Indiana. The Seattle Mariners are now on the clock.
And with that, the 26th pick, the Brewers have a new hurler. So Eric Arnett, a tall right-hander from Indiana, is originally from Ohio. Apparently has big stuff, certainly big enough stuff for Bruce Side and company to make him their pick. We're going to be joined by the Brewers scouting director a little bit later in the show. We'll talk about Eric Arnett and kind of talent he has and the impact he could make. So stay with us. It's the lowest the Brewers have drafted since 1983, by the way.
That's a good thing.
That is a good thing. Dan Plesac was the draft pick that year, back in 1983. We want to thank our friends at MLB Network for providing that footage for us. Craig Counsell leads off. He'll be followed by J.J. Hardy, then Ryan Braun. Rockies failed to score in the first. And now the Brewers against right-hander Jason Hamill. Hamill was acquired in a trade just before the season started. The Rockies made a deal with the Tampa Bay Rays. Hamill, a former 10th round draft pick back in 2002. 3-0 to Counsell. 3-1. Counsell comes in batting .311. Has a home run, 9 runs batted in. His home run was here at Miller Park back in April. And that one catches a corner. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Counsell.
They say Hamill's got a pretty good fastball. He's got a nice curveball that he uses quite a bit on the road. Doesn't like to use it too much in Coors Field. Can understand why.
Counsell into the gap. Fowler converging, cannot get there. This is going to go to the wall. Craig Counsell booking around second, on his way to third. A triple for Counsell.
Hey, Fowler looked like he was in slow motion out there in the outfield. They say that kid can run like the wind, but took him forever to get that ball to the wall. And Craig Counsell on a 3-2 pitch able to find the gap and get the Brewers off and running on this homestand. Fastball up. About 92 miles an hour. Get on top of it and watch Fowler. It took him a while to get there. He was playing shallow and really not running hard after that baseball. Craig Counsell able to get into third base.
Well, Craig Counsell went 56 games without a triple. Now has 2 triples in his last 2 games. And a 3-bagger starts the inning for the Brewers in the first. And here's Hardy, and that one's right back up the middle. Tulowitzki will take the out, but the Brewers are on the board as J.J. Hardy drives in his 25th of the year. And it's 1-0 Milwaukee quickly here tonight. Here's how the Brewers bat tonight. Counsell, Hardy, and then Ryan Braun. The middle of the order is Prince Fielder, Mike Cameron, and Matt Gamble. And the bottom 3, Corey Hart, Jason Kendall, and Braden Looper. Subway lineup for manager Ken Maka. Kendall's always had good numbers against the Rockies. Second best among active players in the National League. Kendall up over 350 against Colorado as Ryan Braun bats with 1 away. It's the first time that the Brewers have seen Jason Hamill. There's only a handful of batters on the Brewers roster that have ever faced him. Hamill making his first career appearance against Milwaukee. He's been in the American League for the last 3 seasons with Tampa Bay.
And let's check out the Piggly Wiggly scouting report on the Rockies starter. He's done very well on the road, a 1.86 ERA. 6 games and 4 starts. Doesn't like Coors Field all that much. 4 pitches. Got decent velocity. His curveball probably his best pitch. And kind of interestingly, he's got a 4.5 ERA, but he's given up 8 unearned runs. That's the second most in the National League.
Well, Hamill, when he's right, is a ground ball pitcher. The trade with the Rays came down on the 5th of April, right before the season started. Started the year last year as the number 5 starter in Tampa Bay's rotation. Then was bumped to the bullpen. Fielder waiting to hit here in the first. Brewers get a leadoff triple from Craig Counsell. J.J. Hardy drives him in on a ground out. Counsell continues to swing a red-hot bat. Seems like he's getting hits every night, and his second consecutive triple. Braun bounces one over to Stewart. And 2 men are out, and we check in with a healthy Telly Hughes. What's up, Telly?
Hey, Prince Fielder coming up to the plate right now, and there's no one hotter than him. In the last 7 games, he put together a 7-game hit streak during that road trip. He put together also a .462 average, 3 home runs, 6 RBIs, and more impressively, the .533 on-base percentage. So every time he's up at plate, or at least 533% of the time, he's getting on base, and we'll see if he can continue it here at home.
All right, Telly, thanks a lot. Fielder certainly putting up the big numbers, Rock. His batting average is just a shade under 300 right now, which has always been a stated goal for Prince Fielder. He feels like and considers himself a 300 hitter in the major leagues.
Well, and if he continues to be patient at the plate and just swing at strikes, pretty good chance he's going to end up around that 300 mark. When they don't throw him strikes, he's taking his walks. And lately, when they're throwing him strikes, he's hammering the baseball. I mean, using the whole field. Taking the ball to the opposite field, back through the middle into right field. So he's been a very tough out.
Now, Fielder made one adjustment during the last homestand. Had to do with his lead elbow. He dropped it a little bit. Dale Swaim talking about the move Fielder made is so subtle that it's hard to see, but it has made a huge impact with how he connects with a baseball. Gets jammed a little here, and the side is retired. But the Brewers score a run. Counsell triples and then scores on Hardy's ground out. 1-0 Milwaukee. tonight here in their home ballpark, starting a 6-game homestand. The Rockies and the Chicago White Sox will be here. Our Taco Bell Who's Hot. Best National League run support for pitchers. Braden Looper at the top of the list. The Brewers scoring 7 runs per game with Looper on the mound. But as we mentioned in the open, Braden coming off, as he put it, one of his most frustrating innings of work in his entire career. When he started the 5th inning in Florida with a 9-1 win and only managed to get 2 outs. Not only did he not get the win, but he gave up 5 runs in the process. Said he completely lost it in that 5th inning and lost a little feeling in his hands during that inning, which was interesting.
Well, it was very hot. Everybody thought that he just hit the wall and got tired. I mean, it was very hot down on the field, but it was one of the most amazing things that I've witnessed in baseball. I mean, to give up that many singles on pitches that a lot of times were pretty good pitchers' pitch. And it just kind of snowballed on him, wasn't able to finish the 5th.
Well, he's got plenty of finish going right now as he strikes out Brad Hawk. So he has punched out 2 of the better hitters in this Colorado lineup with Helton and Hopp, and he has it out here in the 2nd inning.
No, nothing wrong with the feel right there. I mean, that's a well-located split-fingered fastball down and away to a very hot hitter. So able to strike out Helton and Brad Hopp, 2 of the best the Rockies have to offer.
Now, what was interesting about Looper in Miami, leading up to the 5th inning, Looper had a 1-hit shutout going. He was just mowing the Florida Marlins down. And then it all kind of left him. And then he had to sit on it for 4 days. That's one of the disadvantages to being a starting pitcher.
Yeah.
You know, position player goes 0 for 4, he can get right back out there the next day for the most part.
That was a long wait between starts for Looper. Not often your team gives you a 9-1 lead to sit on and not able to finish. Very rare for Looper, who's thrown the baseball well.
Looper's last start here at Miller Park was a good one. Picked up the win against the Reds, went 7 innings and allowed just 2 earned runs. 3 balls and a strike on Ian Stewart. Looper facing the reigning Player of the Week in the National League. Stewart coming off a great week. Now has 32 runs batted in. Chases one.
I'll pretty much flip a coin as to which Rockies was going to win that award this week. Man, goodness.
Yeah, Stewart, the hottest of them all. He had 480 last week with 4 home runs and 12 runs batted in. And is on a streak of 5 consecutive multi-hit games. And he's got another one here to start this one.
Yeah, 3 of his home runs were 3-run shots, so that means the Rockies were getting on base in front of him. That's what you talk about, making the most of your home runs. A couple of men on just about every time. When you're hot, you're hot. It doesn't matter who's out there. When you're seeing the ball as well as Stewart is right now, you're going to get your hits. You're going to get good pitches to hit.
And even when you hit ground balls, when you're going well, they find a hole. So a 1-out base runner for Colorado, and here's Troy Tulowitzki. It's been a struggle at the plate for Tulowitzki, but Jim Tracy and the Rockies feel like maybe he's beginning to turn the corner. Tulowitzki comes in with a .223 batting average. His on-base percentage is .312. Popped him up. Counsell makes the call. And 2 men are out here in the 2nd. Well, it's Brewers text time. We're taking your questions during the game and post-game show when you text us at 234-234, keyword Brewers. Please be sure to give us your first name and city. And again, that short code is 234-234, keyword Brewers. Love to hear from you tonight. Still a little chilly out for the roof to be open. Temperature is going to dip down into the 50s tonight in Milwaukee.
It was very cool down on the field for batting practice until that roof got closed. Noticeably cold for this time of year.
Expecting a little rain tonight, but looking forward to some very good weather for the remainder of this homestand, especially as we get closer to the weekend. So certainly hoping you'll make plans to be with us. I know the series against the White Sox this weekend is doing very well at the gate. Hardy handles Gonzalez, and the inning is over. Another scoreless frame for Looper. To the bottom of the second we go.
What was that, like 3 days ago? I hadn't thought about that one bit. I mean, you can't worry about stuff like that. It is what it is. It already happened, and, you know, I'll deal with the appeal process later on.
Is it fair?
No, but that's why I'm appealing it.
Why do you think it's not fair?
Because I didn't bump him. It came to me, so. And that's it. You know, I ain't gonna talk about it no more.
Well, Mike Cameron appealing his suspension that came down from the commissioner's office earlier today in a confrontation and a bumping incident with Marvin Hudson in Atlanta. So we'll have to wait and see now on the appeal process. One thing's for sure, while Cameron can continue to play Rock, once the appeal situation plays itself out, the minute that decision comes down, then Cameron will either have to sit, or if his suspension is wiped out, he obviously stays in the lineup.
We have nothing to lose. I mean, they can't add any days or anything to the suspension, so we'll see what happens. It'd be interesting. You know, sometimes, you know, both parties are equally guilty. Maybe Cameron for going back after he got thrown out. Marvin Hudson certainly appeared to be upset about the situation himself. I think they both touched going at each other.
Well, Cameron flies out to start this second inning.
And you know how we feel about it. I agree with Mike Cameron, the fact that I don't think that he deserves a suspension on that. I think it was incidental contact. They both went at each other. Marvin Hudson certainly not trying to be the peacekeeper here. Now look at Marvin Hudson. Look how close to Mike Cameron he is. He's not backing off. They're both talking. Mike Cameron has a helmet on. And I don't really see where there's a foul right there. Now, having said that, we're going to clear this all up. We're going to get the umpire's perspective on this tomorrow night. Bruce Fremming, after the ball game, is going to come down and join us.
Beautiful.
And we're going to talk about that. And he will give the umpire's opinion and how they see it. Of course, I hope Cam doesn't watch it. He might run on out.
Well, let's just hope that the appeal process will happen quickly, and Cameron can know whether he is suspended or not. Matt Gamble with one away here in the second inning. Gamble's been given regular playing time at third base the last few days. Gamble, in that 3-game series in Atlanta, started all 3 games. Skies that one to deep center field. This one is way back there. Fowler running out of room. Goodbye! A towering fly ball home run for Matt Gamble. My goodness. Home run number 2 of his major league career. The only question was it ever going to come down or not?
Boy, it's good to be home on a lot of different levels, but Miller Park Certainly a ball that would not be out of either of the ballparks that the Brewers were at on the recent road trip, Florida and Atlanta. Neither ballpark really surrenders a lot of home runs, but I tell you, this tells you how strong Matt Gamble is. He got under that baseball and out of here by plenty. Goodness.
Some kind of blast by Gamble. Gamble hit 8 home runs in AAA before his promotion to the big leagues. Had a batting average over 330, and Ken Maka made it clear once the ball club arrived in Atlanta that Gamble was going to get every chance to play every day at third base for now. His 4th consecutive start and his most impressive major league home run.
Well, he's been getting a lot of starts against right-handed pitching. Hasn't really started against lefties. That may change, though. I mean, when you talk to Gamble, he prefers to face left-handed pitching. Hard to believe that, but maybe he's just trying to campaign to tell everybody that he likes to face lefties.
Well, if nothing else, he's real smart about it then, because he told me the same thing.
Yeah.
He's going to the media with it.
And you know we're going to chirp about it.
Oh, of course. That's what we do. Two to nothing Brew Crew. They've scored a run at each of the first 2 innings. Gamble with his first career home run at Miller Park. His other home run came at Busch Stadium in St. Louis. And that was in his 2nd game as a big leaguer. Little bouncer. Going to be a tough play. Barmas in time to get Hart. And 2 outs here in the 2nd inning. Check the Firestone leaderboard up above. We're looking at runs per ball club. Most runs by a team in the National League. The Rockies are up there 3rd right now. 288 runs scored. The Brewers are 20 behind that pace. During this 5-game winning streak for Colorado, they have averaged over 8 runs a game. It's been an impressive run for Colorado.
And it's been all aspects of their game. Their pitching has been very good. Their offense, their defense have been running the bases. Maybe a little bit too late for the Rockies to try and catch the Los Angeles Dodgers, but don't tell these guys that.
Well, they've had a history of late season runs. They certainly did in their World Series year of 2007. When they won 21 out of their final 22 games. Colorado starts the day 13 games back of the Dodgers. Dodgers are 39-20, the best record in the big leagues. Los Angeles with an 8.5 game lead on the Giants. 2nd place in the National League West.
Yeah, how about the Giants, 29-27? They're playing some pretty good baseball.
Yeah, the only other team in the West over 500.
Yeah, keep in mind this Rockies club before this 5-game winning streak were 12 games under 500, not playing very well. They've gotten hot, but I think it's a little bit too late to, or I think it may be a bit premature to call them contenders.
Still 7 games under 500 to start the day. 2-2 to Kendall, and a line shot, base hit. Kendall has had great numbers against the Colorado Rockies in his career. We showed you the numbers when we hit the air with the lineups. Over 350 during his career against Colorado. And has a base hit with 1 away here in the 2nd inning. Make it 2 away in the 2nd.
Making a lot of mistakes with his fastball. Hasn't been able to throw his curveball for strikes. That's the key to his success. That fastball right down the middle of the plate, and Jason hit it hard right back through the middle. When he's going well, particularly on the road, remember he's got a 1.86 ERA before tonight's game away from Coors Field. One of the reasons they say is because he doesn't throw his curveball at home. Doesn't get the break on it that he does on the road.
Interesting.
You know, that mile high, the air a little bit thinner.
Even with the humidor, no curveball at home.
No, doesn't help.
Just makes for a heavy, wet baseball, I guess. Now, Hamill, that 1.86 road ERA covers 4 starts and 6 games. He was in the bullpen to start the year. Hamill replaced Franklin Morales at the end of April when Morales went on the disabled list. Looper, a bouncer over to third. Stewart has it, and a high throw, but it's pulled down by Helton. And the inning is over, and young Matt Gamble, his first Miller Park home run. Is presented by Plains Farm and Fleet. You'll always find value at your local Farm and Fleet. By Piggly Wiggly. Shop the pig and save. And by Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin. With producer Chris Withers, director Michael Odino. Glad to have you back with us. The Brewers and the Colorado Rockies tonight. Matt Gamble giving the Crew a 2-0 lead. Gamble with a towering home run to center field. A mile high and a mile far. And against the mile high team, the Colorado Rockies. Braden Looper is staked to an early lead tonight. Looper has given up 1 hit. Has 2 strikeouts through the first 2 innings. And he'll face Chris Iannetta, Jason Hamill, then back to the top of the order, Dexter Fowler. Chris Iannetta just returning from the disabled list. Been down for a couple of weeks with a hamstring injury. This is his first game back. And swings at the first pitch. Pop up into center. 1 away. Rock, they were saying about Iannetta, you know, any other position besides catcher, he probably wouldn't have had to go on the disabled list, first of all, and certainly would have been back in about, 5 to 7 days. But because of the position, the hamstring issue sent him on the disabled list for 2 weeks.
You can't move around all that well. Plus, you can't be short-handed as a catcher. You can't go through a stretch, even 1 or 2 games with only 1 catcher, particularly if you don't have a guy on your roster that can catch and play other positions. It's kind of like that Mike Rivera situation when he twisted his ankle. It really wasn't an injury that it was going to take 2 weeks, but because he was a catcher, the backup catcher, you need one. He had to go on the DL.
Hamill, a bouncer over to Gamble. Hamill to Gamble. That's a fielder. 2 away.
I got that. Hey, if you can't watch the Brewers on Fox Sports Wisconsin, you can always catch the game on your computer with MLB.tv. The ultimate baseball experience features 100 out-of-market games every week live on your computer, and you can catch those you've missed on demand. For details, go to Brewers.com.
Well, big news day today in baseball. The 2009 amateur draft going on right now. The Brewers made their selection. If you're just joining us, Eric Arnett from the Big Ten from Indiana.
Yeah, big kid, 6'5", 225 pounds. They say he throws in the mid-90s with a slider. That's in the upper 80s. And they'll throw an occasional splitter.
Arnett, the Big Ten co-pitcher of the year this year, first team All Big Ten selection. And he is now a Milwaukee Brewer. Well, not officially yet.
Yeah, he got a sign first.
He's the property of the Brewers, at least the draft rights property. So stay with us following the game as Fowler sends one down the line. Braun having to hurry here. Fowler thinking about two. Here comes the throw, and it's not in time. Fowler with a hustle double.
That's a nice approach on a pitch down the middle. Fowler just slaps it down the line and left, and with 2 outs and nobody on, it's a pretty good gamble to try to get into second base, particularly with his speed. Watch how nice and quiet that swing is. Not a lot of movement in it, just slaps it down the line and gets into second base easily. That's kind of an approach you like to see from a leadoff hitter. Not trying to yank the ball down the line, hit home runs.
Well, Fowler with his 13th double of the season. He leads National League rookies in a number of categories, including runs and walks, stolen bases, and now with 46 hits. Barmas pops it foul and out of play.
Okay, this club is attacking early on Braden Looper. Any fastball that they see, they're hacking. Have to be careful early in the count with these guys.
Barmas is another guy that has been smoking hot at the plate. The one move, the first move that Jim Tracy made when he took over for Clint Hurdle, he put Barmas into the 2-hole. Took Tulowitzki out of that second spot in the order and put Barmas there. And Barmas has responded big time for Jim Tracy. It's been 11 games now. Barmas has raised his batting average from 234 to 290, batting second, hitting .438 during that 11-game stretch.
Yeah, Barnes is a guy that'll strike out a fair amount. 176 at bats, 39 strikeouts. He doesn't walk much, only 12 walks, and that's certainly not a recipe for a number 2 hitter. Ordinarily, you'd like your number 2 hitter to be able to take some pitches, maybe draw some walks, take some pitches, allow your leadoff hitter to steal.
Two and two the count with 2 outs and a speedy runner at second base in Fowler. And Barmas bounces one to Gamble. So Braden Looper through 3 scoreless innings. He's given up 2 hits. And we head to the home third. Vote often, punching their cards. All-Star voting continues. The 3rd release on the All-Star fan balloting came out today, and the Brewers still well represented as Counsell swings at the first pitch and is retired as Dexter Fowler comes across Carlos Gonzalez. That was almost a collision in center field.
What's he doing? I mean, that was right at Gonzalez in left. Fowler had a long way to go, although he was shaded around in toward left center. Made that play a lot more dramatic than it had to be. What are you doing?
Well, they're both saying I got it. They're both center fielders by trade. And two of the fastest players in the Rockies organization. So
that's left fielder's ball.
Fowler pulling his Kelly Leak impersonation. He's taking them all. So one away here for J.J. Hardy. Hardy drove in a run on a ground out in the first inning to get the Brewers on the board. Yeah, we certainly want to encourage you to hit the polls. You can vote either here at the ballpark, do it the old-fashioned way, punch the holes, or you can go online and you have 25 votes per email account. So if you're one of those folks who has multiple email accounts, you know what to do. Ryan Braun still in the top 3 outfield vote-getting spots, so he is still the left fielder.
And you notice how shallow the left fielder and center fielder are playing in this game? I've never seen a left fielder, Carlos Gonzalez, as shallow as he is with a power hitter up.
Well, Hardy strikes out, 2 up and 2 down.
And I really think that the fact that, Fowler was so shallow in center field, that's why Counsell was able to get that triple.
And with a full roster of home run hitters, a little interesting to look at, our Powerball home run leaderboard. Fielder has 15 to lead the way. Cameron and Braun both with 12.
And even with Braun up, Gonzalez very shallow and left. That's impressive. Let's see what happens on a ball over his head. No hanging chads, please.
No, that was a satisfied pick she just made. You see that?
She had to work for it.
Mm-hmm. They take it serious here, and they should. Well, Braun having another all-star season. Certainly Prince Fielder is putting together an all-star campaign. I think the one guy you'd like to see dialed up a little bit more in the votes is Mike Cameron.
Yeah.
I mean, Cameron's numbers.
What's he, 7th right now?
They're impressive, and the fan balloting not indicative of how good Cameron has been this year.
Yeah, certainly when you take the whole body of work, when you consider defense and offense, he certainly should be a lot higher than he is right now.
Carlos Beltran, the leading vote getter in the National League as far as the center fielder goes. Well, still a lot of time before the Midsummer Classic in St. Louis, but as of right now, you'd have to figure Braun and Fielder and Trevor Hoffman as the Brewer All-Stars this year. That is down the line, and this is going to be trouble for the Rockies. Braun racing towards second, and he will stop there. Played well by Hoff in right field. Any bobble whatsoever, and Braun is standing at third.
And with 2 outs, you don't want to make the third out at third base, particularly with Prince coming up. Boy, what an approach by Ryan Braun. That kid is amazing. That pitch wasn't even a strike. I mean, how does a guy handle a pitch in this location? I mean, look at the swing. I mean, had to reach completely outside. That ball wasn't even a strike, and able to slice it down the right field line, covering inside, outside very well. His home runs on Sunday, very impressive. A pitch in, a pitch away, hit it to left, hit it to right. That was a slider off the plate that he was able to bang down the right field line.
Now Braun with 2 homers on Sunday, 2 for 4 at the plate. And the double is going to give the Rockies a chance to walk Fielder. And they will challenge Mike Cameron, the 6th time this year that Fielder has been intentionally walked.
It's amazing that the league continues to try and get Ryan Braun out away with breaking stuff, and he continues to just, not always with the base hits, but he always fouls it off. I mean, unless it's down and away, down in the dirt. He'll chase that once in a while, but he covers the outside corner as well as anybody.
not only does he cover the outside corner, he covers the left-handed hitter's batter's box as well as anybody.
Yeah.
Because he's not afraid to hit a ball out there either.
And he also understands that not too many guys are going to challenge him inside too much. Not for strikes anyway. They might bust him in off the plate, but not too often. Josh Johnson did it in Florida, but he did it to everybody that night.
Impeccable command. And the young Tommy Hanson, making his major league debut on Sunday, tried to get that fastball in on Braun, and he hit one out. Well, a 2-out double and an intentional walk could set up a big inning for Milwaukee. Here's Cameron. Take you back to Braun's home runs in Atlanta Sunday. Here's the fastball that Hanson tried to sneak by him, ended up in the seats. That was his 11th home run of the year. And then Braun goes to the opposite field with 2 strikes for his other home run.
Well, that was middle away. It wasn't on the outside corner. They tried to sneak it inside. He hit it out. Tried to catch the outside corner. Left it out over the plate and made him pay for it.
Well, if you're paying attention to the draft these next few days, you're going to hear a lot of scout speak about certain sluggers. When they say line-to-line power, they're talking about guys like Ryan Braun, who can hit the ball out of the ballpark from foul pole to foul pole.
Those are the big boys that can do that. Prince Fielder, Ryan Braun. Down the right field line, down the left field line. Just got power to all fields.
Cameron down to the hole, no balls, 2 strikes. 2 men aboard with 2 outs here in the 3rd inning. And Cameron takes a called strike 3, a breaking ball from Hamill. And the inning ends. The Brewers strand a pair. For the first time tonight, they fail to score.
Here at Miller Park, Brewers Rockies. Craig Counsell got things started early in the 1st inning with a leadoff triple. He'd score on J.J. Hardy's ground out. Matt Gamble with his 2nd home run, first at Miller Park, to give the Brewers a 2-0 lead. And Braden Looper has been sharp so far. A couple of hits, a couple of strikeouts, and has not allowed a run.
Braden Looper begins his 4th inning of work. He'll face Todd Helton to lead things off. Then Brad Haupt. And Ian Stewart to follow, right in the middle of that Colorado order. 2-0 Brewers on 4 hits tonight. The Rockies have 2 hits. Ian Stewart with a single and Dexter Fowler with a double last inning. By the way, tomorrow Dave Bush will make the start. That somewhat breaking news, although just watching Dave Bush the last few days, you kind of felt like that was going to happen, and we reported that on Sunday, that after watching his bullpen, Ken Maka said he had the best curveball he's ever seen him throw. So maybe that line drive by Hanley Ramirez knocked the curveball right back in there.
Yeah, knocked the ligament straight. Something.
So Bush is going to pitch tomorrow. As Counsell goes up the ladder to pull one down. An original Rocky. Craig Counsell brings one down and robs Helton of a base hit. Our Home Depot doing more on defense.
Playing a little bit deep out there with Helton at the plate, able to leap and make the catch. Our Home Depot doing more on defense. And Craig Counsell just continues to make all the plays.
Well, Craig Counsell came up through the Rockies system. Been a long and winding road since, but still playing at a very high level.
Well, the guy just never makes mistakes, or I shouldn't say never. He has made too many mistakes. You knock on wood every time you say something like that, but Counsell is steady as it goes. Very smart player, anticipates before things happen, and always seems to be in the right place at the right time.
Counsell originally an 11th round draft pick by the Colorado Rockies. The 92 draft out of Notre Dame. It's always fun this time of year to see where guys were drafted. You know, and you just don't know in baseball. I mean, there's a better chance in football and basketball to kind of have an idea about a player. Where were you drafted, Rock? What round?
8.
8th round.
8th round, yep.
Now Looper strikes out Brad Haupt for the second consecutive at-bat. Kendall secures it over at first. 2 gone here in the 4th inning. And that leads us to our Aflac trivia question tonight. Which current Rockies coaches also served on the Brewers coaching staff? It's a good one. Had a little transition in their coaching staff. Clint Hurdle released from his duties with the Rockies as manager. Jim Tracy taking over on an interim basis. So 2 outs, and it's Ian Stewart. Stewart singled his last time up, and a 1-out hit back up the middle. Quickly 0-2. And he got him. Looper on 3 pitches, not messing around with the player of the week in the National League. 1, 2, 3. The Rockies go down in order. And Braden Looper, a 2-hit shutout through 4. As this homestand kicks off with the Colorado Rockies. And the Brewers off to a good start tonight. 2-0 Milwaukee leads it. Braden Looper, 4 shutout innings, just 2 hits allowed. Meanwhile, the Brewers have 2 runs on 4 hits. And Matt Gamble, who delivered the second run with 1 swing of the bat when he homered with 1 away in the second. Gamble's first career home run here at Miller Park. Has 2 homers and 10 RBIs now. Gamble on the road trip hit .278, drove in 3 runs, and 5 hits and 18 at bats. Take it back to the second rock. Gamble showing tremendous power with his second Powerball home run of the year.
Yeah, pitch middle away, able to take it right back through the middle. That's the thing that Gamble's been doing since beginning some consistent playing time. Need to be a little bit more patient, but pretty good pitch that time by Hamill. Got that changeup down in the zone.
Hamill has 3 strikeouts as his last 3 outs. They got Hardy, then Cameron, and now Gamble to start this 4th inning. Well, Corey Hart trying to get things turned around after a rough road trip. 4 for 26 on the road trip. Did have a home run, however. And he drove in 3. Hart homered in Florida on the 2nd of June.
Yeah, coming out early, working with Dale Swaim on a number of times during the recent road trip. Just trying to iron out that swing. Swing get a bit loopy for Corey right now.
Tulowitzki winds up and guns down Corey Hart. 2 up and 2 down. Well, how about our Aflac trivia tonight?
Easy one.
Current Rockies coach, also served on the Brewers coaching staff.
Aflac!
And there are 3 of them. One of them a former big league manager in Colorado. There's Bob Apodaca, Don Baylor as well, and Rich Dower.
Yeah.
All staying put after the dismissal of Clint Hurdle.
Now, Bob Apodaca, a pretty good golfer.
Is he?
Yes, he is. Not that that means anything.
No, it's just a kind of a interesting side note.
Played.
Is there any further story to advance that?
I went out there and played, golf. He and Jerry Royster. Both of them pretty good. That was in the Davy Lopes regime.
I think you're ready for him now, though, partner.
No.
You're there.
I used to see these guys at your caliber right there.
I don't like to keep score, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, me either. For different reasons.
Schroeder keeps score based on how many golf balls he finds or loses.
Yeah.
And his last time out, he was even par.
Even.
Lost one, found one.
And the guy right behind us was screaming and yelling because I think it was his one I found. That's what he gets for hitting up on him.
That's right. Well, I've always said, Rock, you can find out a lot about a person on a golf course.
It looked like my golf ball. It was white.
Kendall back up the middle and another hit. Jason Kendall is 2 for 2 tonight.
And both of them come with 2 outs. And very important to clear the pitcher so he doesn't lead off the next inning. That middle in up in his zone, Jason able to pull the hands in. That's an adjustment he made a couple of weeks ago, and it's been working for him.
Kendall's on a pretty good run right now. Had 6 hits on the road trip in 6 games played. Gives Braden Looper a chance to swing the bat here in the fourth. Looper was exclusively a relief pitcher until 3 years ago with the Cardinals. Never swung the bat at the big league level, but then he started to hit once he went to St. Louis and became a starting pitcher, and lo and behold, he could handle the bat a little bit.
Yeah.
It was a career batting average over 200.
Well, having a rough year with the batting average, but doing a nice job dropping down the bunts. Had 13 sacrifice bunts last year. And with 2 outs, got to swing away.
Bouncer over to Tulowitzki. He'll take the easy way. And the side retired. Another scoreless inning for Hamill. We head to the fifth. The Rockies coming up down 2-0.
The Brewers lead by a pair as we head to the top of the fifth inning. Time to check in with the crew in the community. Major League Baseball people and the Brewers today announced the 3 finalists and the beginning of the voting period for the All-Stars Among Us campaign, which recognizes individuals who are serving the Milwaukee and surrounding communities in extraordinary ways. Dave Barr, Loyal Maynard, and Mary Nachreiner have been selected as the 3 finalists representing the Brewers. Log on to www.peopleallstars.com today through June 24th to vote for their favorite Milwaukee-based community All-Star. All 30 winners will be included in the All-Star Week festivities in St. Louis and will attend and be honored as part of the pregame ceremony at the 2009 MLB All-Star Game. Guys?
All right, Telly, thanks a lot. It's a great program, and we're glad to be associated with it this year. Good luck to all the participants. Milwaukee leads Colorado 2-0 as we head to the fifth. Braden Looper has given up just 2 hits, has 4 strikeouts thus far, and he starts Troy Tulowitzki with strike 1. Tulowitzki hit a home run yesterday against the Cardinals. That one's off the end of the bat to Braun. 2 guys who were in the same draft back in 05. Tulowitzki flies out. That home run for Tulowitzki yesterday snapped a string of 77 at-bats without a long ball. It's been a battle for Tulowitzki.
Yeah, had a tremendous rookie season. Almost won the Rookie of the Year.
It was neck and neck with Ryan Braun back in 07. Just 2 years after those two were selected among the first picks in the 05 draft. That still is quite a draft. And as the draft gets started today, who knows who is going to surface, but look at this draft rundown from 2005. Justin Upton was the top guy. Zimmerman was the first guy to the big leagues from that draft. Gonzalez sends one to the wall in deep right center. And the speedy Carlos Gonzalez has the Rockies' 3rd hit. Yeah, Ryan Zimmerman, the 4th overall pick, was the first to the big leagues in that 2005 draft. And then there was some discussion on who was going to be next. The Brewers had that next pick at number 5. And I remember Jack Zarinczyk telling the story about the war room in 05. There was some thoughts that maybe Cameron Maben, Tulowitzki's name came up. But at the end of the day, they liked Ryan Braun. And
pretty
that
good
was
choice.
some kind of selection,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Everybody talks about, we spend a lot of time talking about the first rounders, but there are some very low rounders in this game as well. Matter of fact, Gonzalez wasn't even drafted, a non-drafted free agent. Todd Coffey, 41st rounder.
Is that right?
So sometimes, as good as they are, the scouts, sometimes they miss.
Maybe the most famous of them all is Mike Piazza, who went in the 56th round, I believe.
Big, way back. Dodgers actually drafted him as a favorite of Tommy Lasorda. Brad Hawpe, an 11th rounder.
Well, and don't think your draft position doesn't impact your road to the major leagues. Now, it might not matter when you get to the big leagues because results count, but coming up through the minor leagues, if you're a high round draft pick and there's a lot of money invested in you as a player, then you're going to get every chance.
They're going to look for reasons to promote you and to sing your praises when they have a lot of money invested in you. Got to be very thick-skinned and have a lot of intestinal fortitude if you're one of those, 42, 60th round guys back in the old days. They don't have that many rounds anymore.
Well, every draft day I think about my brother Mike, who was a free agent. He signed out of a tryout camp and ended up making it to the major leagues. But every year he was on the verge of being released, not only in spring training, but also as you go through the year. I mean, you think if you have a bad start, you're gone. And I recall Jim Tracy was his manager in Double-A Chattanooga, and it was Jim Tracy who sent Mike to the bullpen one year because they had a lot of high draft picks coming through. And my brother said, I think I'm done. I'm going to go be a stockbroker now. Manager's got me in the bullpen.
Yeah.
But he survived. So you just never know. There's so much incredible evaluation of non-baseball related issues these days. Maybe more so than in the last 7 to 10 years. I mean, these guys really, especially the high rounders, they get to know the families, the players, their makeup.
Well, you try to get to know the guy's makeup, what's in it, what's inside, what kind of heart does he have, drive, and a lot of that comes from the family life, and that's why these scouts, they go around, they sit around, and they go into the homes and get to know the whole family. It's a tough thing. And after the draft, then you get the rookie ball. I remember back in rookie ball, you sit around and you look at the first rounders, second rounders. The low draft choices are saying, "I'm better than that guy. How'd that guy get all that money?"
That's right.
Least
he can do is buy dinner for us.
Yeah. Man, it's an interesting time. I mean, a lot of amateurs, high school kids, college kids are on pins and needles right now, just waiting to get that call. I remember it well.
Change your life.
Yeah. It's a great time for the family.
Looper strikes out Ionetta.
Boy, good split-fingered fastball on a full count. Outstanding pitch by Braden Looper. Check this pitch out on a full count, 3-2. Hey, fans, elect your favorite Brewers to the All-Star team this year. Vote early, vote often, and vote Brewers now through July 2nd at Brewers.com.
Well, that's a big out. It brings the pitcher to the plate and an opportunity for Looper to get out of this inning. Jason Hamill with 2 outs and a runner at second. Gonzalez doubled with 1 away. Looper trying to put 5 shutout on the board against Colorado. 0-2 the count. The Speedy Gonzalez doubled in right center. And Hamill takes one. Do you like that one?
I did. The truck liked that one too. That was one of my favorite cartoons.
As opposed to Slowpoke Rodriguez.
Right.
1-2 the count. And down he goes. Looper. Back-to-back strikeouts with a runner at second base. 6 strikeouts for Looper. And he's working. Rapid rewind. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered.
And that brings us to tonight's Hammer of the Game winners, the Poorhouse in Ogdensburg, Wisconsin. If they call the Brewers by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, they get 40 tickets to a 2009 Brewers home game that's offered courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
Big crowd tonight on a Tuesday night. And the return of the Brewers to Milwaukee. After a 7-game road trip, the Brewers went 3-4 on the road trip. Lost 3 out of 4 in Florida, and then won the series against the Braves, taking 2 out of 3. Day off yesterday after 10 consecutive games for the Brew Crew. Counsell has a hit tonight. He tripled and scored in the first inning. Has tripled in consecutive games now. 1 for 2 at the plate. Well, Jason Hamill has made just a couple of mistakes tonight. The Brewers have capitalized and have a lead on Hamill, but he's pitching well. Has 3 strikeouts thus far. And getting his ground ball outs.
And starting to throw his breaking pitches for strikes. Early in the game, he really didn't have much of a feel for his curveball. That's his big pitch. Got to be able to throw that for strikes. He's starting to do it. Threw a very good curveball to Mike Cameron to get him back in the third. Threw another good one to Corey Hart.
6 ground ball outs for Hamill. 3 outs in the air. And when he's right, he'll get the ground balls all day. Two balls, 2 strikes on Counsell. now hitting .313 for the season. He's got an on-base percentage of .372. Been pressed into that leadoff spot.
It's the only drawback that you could think of for Craig Counsell being a leadoff is the fact he doesn't run, doesn't have any stolen bases. But who does for the Brewers?
Yeah, nobody runs anymore.
That's not part of their game anyway.
He fits right in. Well, Ricky Weeks, season-ending wrist surgery at the end of April. Counsell filling it nicely, both at second and in the leadoff spot. Helton takes care of Counsell for out number 1. Time now for our U.S. Cellular text to vote question of the night. Do you keep a scorebook when you're watching the game at home? W for yes, X for no. W or X, short code 234234 is the text number. It's a familiar question. It has a familiar ring to it.
We talked about that last road trip, I think.
Didn't we take an impromptu poll on that very subject?
We added another text question that night. I think it was in Florida.
Yeah, a lot of fans that didn't feel like they had ample opportunity to participate. So now we're officially doing it. And U.S. Cellular wanted to be a part of it as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So
well, you can't have too many text to vote questions in a night.
I agree.
And why not? Something that comes up, just throw it out there and have them vote on it.
Not everything can be planned out in a 10 a.m. conference call. Hardy into deep right field. That one's well hit but run down. Brad Hawk. Over the shoulder catch, and Hardy is robbed of extra bases.
Yeah, another hang with him for J.J. Hardy. It's been the story of his last couple of weeks. He hit a number of bullets for outs in that last road trip, particularly in Florida. And trying to get extra bases, Brad Hawk going back nicely and makes the catch.
They don't keep a stat for line drive outs, but Hardy has to be leading the league in that category.
Yeah. It is a very hard 220-something.
He's really swung the bat well. Not much to show for it, though. There were 3 consecutive games on the road when he ended up as the video replay of the day, right? Yeah. So they show that to highlight a great defensive play by the home team.
Yeah.
Hardy was the batter on all 3 occasions.
Yeah, and he mentioned that to me at the batting cage in Atlanta. Yeah, I'm the highlight every night after the game. Unfortunately, I'm hitting. The defensive highlight. Oh, well, you talk about the quality of bats, right?
I told him it's been well documented on Brewers television. Didn't make him feel any better.
Nope.
0-2 the count to Braun. He doubled his last time up. Now this is a spot, especially with a pitcher like Hamill, who has relied on his curveball, that Braun can do some damage, even with 2 strikes.
He threw a slider off the plate last time up. Ryan hit it down the right field line. Let's see what they do here. Do they dare come inside? Yes, they are.
Coming in there. And Braun bounces it over to third. Tough play for Stewart. He picked up a wicked hop and makes the play for the final out of the inning. 3 up, 3 down for Jason Hamill. Good ball game tonight. 2-0. The Brewers still leading. Baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is presented by the Wisconsin Lottery and its family of instant scratch games. Odds are you'll like them. By AirTran. Go, there's nothing stopping you. And by Aflac. We've got you under our wing. This will be a key inning for Braden Looper as we head to the 6th, third time through the Rockies batting order. Top of the order coming up for Looper, who is working on a 3-hit shutout. 2 doubles and a single tonight for the Rockies as Dexter Fowler tries to bunt his way on. Been able to scatter those hits. Rockies have not had more than 1 base runner in an inning all night tonight. And Looper with 2 3-up, 3-down innings. 6 strikeouts for Braden Looper, no walks.
He's had very good command of his fastball, and his split-fingered fastball has been well located. He's been keeping it down with 2 strikes. He's got some strikeouts. Majority of his 6 strikeouts have come on that splitter.
He's got Fowler at 1 and 2. And a fastball that Fowler fouls away.
And one of the strikeouts that Looper got on a fastball came on a pitch right down the middle of Todd Helton. That was back in the 1st inning. Blew it right by him.
Gamble, terrific play. Can he finish it? What a throw from Gamble. How about that play? Matt Gamble robbing Fowler of extra bases to start the 6th.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, the more you put him over there, I think the more comfortable he's going to get. Makes a nice play on the backhand. Remember, this guy very fast down the line. Don't have a whole lot of time to think about what you're doing. You get up and throw a bullet over to first base. He's got a terrific throwing arm. It's just a matter of him being accurate with it.
He's made all the plays tonight. Gamble's made all the plays in his 4 consecutive starts thus far.
Less time he has to think about the throw, the better off it is.
Gamble's been doing a lot of early work with Willie Randolph. And just working on his footwork, making sure he's in a good position to throw. And Willie was saying they're just advancing what Don Money has done with Matt Gamble the last couple of years. There's nothing really more to add other than the repetition and continuing the program that Gamble has been on. And even though Ken Maka said there's still a lot of questions with Gamble defensively, the more time he gets, the better he's going to be. And as you mentioned, Rock, it's a confidence issue as well. There's a line shot back up the middle. Clint Barmas with a single with 1 out. Now Looper just surrendering his 4th hit. The former 1st-round draft pick, number 3 overall back in '96, is spinning a beauty against the Colorado Rockies tonight, who came into this game as one of the most prolific offenses in the last week, scoring more than 8 runs a game.
You see the location of just about every one of those pitches, not getting much of the white of the plate. He's had very good command. Now getting back to Matt Gamble and Don Money. Don Money doesn't get enough credit for what he does with these minor leaguers. Tremendous teacher. And knows how to get to these guys. He really does.
Money now the AAA manager in Nashville after spending a number of years as the AA skipper.
You also have a pretty good pitching man down in AAA now too, Chris Fazio.
Well, Looper trying to retire Helton here. Brewers are set up for a double play. Runner takes off and Helton fouls it away. Jim Tracy, as a manager, more aggressive than Clint Hurdle was. He likes the hit and runs. He was always an aggressive manager in Los Angeles and then in Pittsburgh. One thing the Rockies are talking about with Tracy is the fact that his lineup is pretty well established. There's some consistency, especially at the top of the lineup. as Helton strikes out. Boy, Braden Looper on the split finger fastball strikes out Todd Helton for the second time.
That's not easy to do. Strike that guy out twice in a game. Todd Helton only 30 strikeouts all year, 194 plate appearances. I should say at bats. Always a guy that's under 100 strikeouts just about every year.
So 2 outs, a runner at first for Brad Hawpe. A shot, base hit, opposite field single for Hawpe. The Brewers had the big shift on for the left-handed slugger. And Hawpe now a career high 11-game hitting streak with that single.
How about that? A first pitch splitter. And Hawpe able to stay back and hit it into left field. I mean, it's one thing to go up there and look off speed. It's another to look off speed and hit it to the opposite field. That was a pretty good at bat. A good at bat and only one pitch.
So a big-time matchup here for Looper. The reigning player of the week in the National League, Ian Stewart, steps in with 2 on. Best scoring threat the Rockies have had tonight. Well, what do you do with a hot hitter? Get a splitter up there. Let him chase one.
Back-to-back split-fingered fastballs. That last one much better spot than the one that he threw to Brad Hawpe. The one that Brad Hawpe hit was a bit of a hanger.
Stewart singled off Looper back in the second on a 3-2 pitch. Just a bouncing ball that Stewart hit back up the middle over the head of Looper and on into center field.
Heck of a play by Jason Kendall there, keeping that splitter in front of him. Good to see Jason on the off day yesterday. Didn't get another black eye.
Yeah, I thought he might have evened it out. That's how he got his first black eye. That one is popped up. Will it stay playable? Looks like it. Gamble makes the call. And Looper is out of it. 2 left for the Rockies on 2 hits. 6 shutout innings for Looper. Matt Gamble when we come back. Time now for the Toyota game summary. Game 1 of this 3-game series with the Rockies. Craig Counsell started it with a triple in the first inning, and then J.J. Hardy drove him in with a ground out. Brewers were on the board quickly. Counsell has flashed a little leather defensively, as has Matt Gamble. Made a great play robbing Dexter Fowler of extra bases. Braden Looper, however, has been the headliner tonight. Looper, a 5-hit shutout through 6 innings. And a 2-0 Milwaukee lead as we head to the home 6th. Fielder, Cameron, and Gamble due up against Jason Hamill. Now Looper talking it over with Bill Castro, the Brewer pitching coach. 6, 7, and 8 due up for the Rockies in the 7th as Fielder chases one. Changeup from Hamill. Now the Marlins with a 9th inning home run, a walk-off home run from Jeremy Hermida, beat the Cardinals tonight. Chris Carpenter started that game for St. Louis when 6 innings gave up 3 runs. The Marlins hung in there behind Josh Johnson. And with a tie game in the bottom of the 9th, Jeremy Hermida wanted for the Fish. So an opportunity tonight for the Brewers to go up 3.5 games in the National League Central. St. Louis has now lost 5 straight games.
Yeah, every team goes through stretches like that. Brewers had that stretch early in the year. Unavoidable. Even when you've got a good ball club, you're going to go through stretches where you're not doing anything right.
Hamill takes care of Fielder for out number 1.
And then there are times when you're playing well, just losing. Sometimes you just forget how to win. Remember the Brewers went through that in '87, that 13-0 start.
Team streak.
Then in May lost 12 in a row. They show up at the ballpark, you're on your way to the ballpark, you're thinking, what's going to happen today? You just lose that confidence.
Well, and that's what it's all about. I even heard Jim Tracy in his pregame gathering with the media talking about what's changed in Colorado since he took over. And while he downplayed his role, his importance, he also basically said these guys have their swagger back. That's a word we're hearing a lot of these days. Confidence. Such a big part of this game. Cameron down on strikes. Boy, Hamill is locked in right now. That's 6 in a row retired. And 9 out of his last 10. Danny in Milton. Rock wants to know, do catchers talk to batters while they are hitting? Our Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin text question.
No, that doesn't happen. That's just in the movies. They might go up there, a guy walks to the plate. Guy might, tap his bat on your shin guards as a way of saying hello. You might know a guy you might play with a particular guy at one point. You say hello, but that's about it. None of those insults going back and forth while a guy's up there. That's Hollywood. At least in my experience.
Yeah, you would know. Kendall's not a chatty guy anyway. Now a catcher and an umpire, that's a little bit different story. That's when you want to really get in there good with the umpire. You ask him how his family's doing.
Right. Have a nice meal. Maybe give him a recommendation where to go after the game.
Sure. Make a tea time for him.
And then he'll ring you up the next plate appearance.
Jason Kendall's right eye scaring the children still. He said it only looks bad. It's not really that bad. It's clearing up.
Just on the one side.
Everything looks better in HD except Kendall's right eye.
Looks good there.
Almost back to normal. Kendall, on the last off day, was hit with an aluminum bat while out in the backyard playing with some family, playing baseball. So only on his off days does he get injured.
Well, so yesterday he just sat around the clubhouse all day.
Yep.
Nope, just kidding.
Wrapped himself in
bubble wrap.
And said, leave me alone. 2 hits tonight for Kendall. Full count to Gamble. His home run back in the 2nd, the last run scored in this game. Made it 2-0 Milwaukee. And Gamble takes a called strike 3. Down he goes. Hamill with 5 strikeouts. and has retired the side in order in the last 2 innings. A tight one at Miller Park. Well pitched. Hamill and Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is presented by Triple Hop Brewed Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling. And by Toyota, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Brewers and the Tundra Territory at Miller Park. Braden Looper on the mound as we head to the 7th inning at Miller Park. 2-0 Brewers lead it. Milwaukee has had their fair share of success in shutout situations this year. Brewers have tossed 4 shutouts this season. As Tulowitzki takes a ball. Actually 5 shutouts this year. Suppan has been a part of a couple, and Giovanni Gallardo has been a part of 3 winning shutout scenarios. Milwaukee had back-to-back shutouts in Atlanta. That one gets under the glove of Gamble, and this is going to be extra bases for Troy Tulowitzki. A leadoff double for the Rockies shortstop.
Yeah, the Brewers have 5 shutouts and have only been shut out once this year. Down and in, and Tulowitzki, who likes that fastball, able to get it out of the reach and gamble down the line, and a leadoff base runner for the first time for the Rockies tonight.
That's the 3rd double of the night for Colorado. Double number 7 for Tulowitzki. And here comes Bill Castro. A quick trip to the mound with Braden Looper. So the Marlins beat the Cardinals 4-3. Jeremy Hermida with a walk-off home run there. Elsewhere in the National League, the Cubs are in Houston, and they're shutting out the Astros 5-0. Ted Lilly and Brandon Backey in that one. Mike Fontenot is homered for the Cubs. A Cubs win puts them in a tie with the Cardinals for 2nd place in the division. Cubs started the day 3.5 back of the Brewers in the division race. The Cincinnati Reds are also 3.5 back to start the day. Cincinnati is in Washington tonight. They lead 1-0 in the 3rd inning. The Nationals made Steven Strasburg their number 1 pick. And there is some talk that he could end up directly in Washington. They feel like he's that polished. There hasn't been a pitching prospect like Strasburg in a long time.
Now the Washington Nationals have a team earned run average at 5.51. That is that's tough. That's rough. Nationals 15-40 this year. why not bring him up, see what he can do?
Sell some tickets if nothing else. And according to his college coach, who knows a thing or two about big league baseball. Strasburg went to San Diego State. Their head coach is Tony Gwynn.
Yep.
That's a fair ball down the line, and this is going to drive in a run. Tulowitzki scores as Carlos Gonzalez comes up with his second double of the night. And just like that, the Rockies not only on the board, but have the tying run in scoring position.
Well, 3 of the 5 doubles have come from the bottom part of the order. Actually, 3 of the 4 doubles have come from the bottom half of the order for the Colorado Rockies. I'll tell you, Braden Looper has handled the top of this order pretty well, particularly Brad Hopp and Todd Helton. That's a nice swing by Gonzalez, able to rip that one down the first baseline. Tulowitzki down the left field line, Gonzalez down the right field line.
Second double of the night for Gonzalez. Playing in only his 5th major league game. Gonzalez had only 2 hits prior to tonight. Now has 2 in this game, and that's it for Looper. Maka's going to make the call to the bullpen. So Looper goes 6+ tonight. The shutout is gone, and the bullpen will be asked to try to keep the Brewers on top. Stay with us.
Seats for only $6. That's courtesy of Miller High Life. For available dates and to purchase tickets, call 414-902-4000.
Well, Ken Maka makes a call to his bullpen, which has been very good this year. The Brewers second in the National League in bullpen ERA, second only to the New York Mets. They lead the National League in hits per 9 innings. And 20 saves sets the pace in the National League as well. Trevor Hoffman, the closer of this ball club, has been perfect this year. The bridge to Hoffman has been the key. And now Mark DeFelice, who has not pitched in 10 days, just returning from the bereavement list after the passing of his grandmother in Philadelphia. So he steps into a hot spot here in the 7th inning. Rockies have a run in, the tying run at second, and Chris Iannetta at the plate.
Yeah, on the bereavement list, and had an elbow issue that kept him out for a couple of days.
Runner takes off, and no chance for Kendall to make a throw. Gonzalez, a base stealer down in AAA, swipes third base. That's a big stolen base. Now a fly ball will tie this game.
Yeah, not much Jason Kendall could do about that. I mean, nobody keeping an eye on him. Not DeFelice, not the middle of the infield, and he just takes off.
His first major league stolen base. And Iannetta chases that breaking ball from DeFelice. I'm sure there are concerns of rust for DeFelice, but the way he pitches and the cut fastball that he uses makes him available right away for Ken Maka. It'll pop up. This is playable in foul territory. Fielder's got it, and a big out for Mark DeFelice.
Well, if any pitch could take 10 days off and come in the hot seat and get the job done, it would be DeFelice, who really only throws that one pitch, that cut fastball. Doesn't throw much else. Very effective against right-handers, and that's why Jim Tracy's sending up a left-hander in this situation. Infield's still in for the Brewers.
Well, Tracy's sending up his best pinch hitter right now, and Maka is going to counter. So Maka makes a quick move to the bullpen. DeFelice faces one batter and gets Iannetta. And now it's to the left-hander. Actually, it's to Coffey. Stay with us. We'll be back and set him up. Well, there's a crowd for Trevor Hoffman. That is at a certain decibel. And then there's the crowd for Todd Coffey, who is fast emerging into some kind of cult figure here in Milwaukee as he comes sprinting in from that Brewer bullpen.
Well, good move by Ken Maka. DeFelice, not very effective against left-handers. You get Coffey in there, the sinker baller, who when he's on, he's going to get the ground ball. That's what Ken Maka is looking for here. Ground ball or a strikeout. 27th appearance for Coffey, a 228 earned run average. He needs to get on top of that sinker, either get the strikeout or the ground ball. Hopefully hit it right at one of the infielders, and the Brewers going to continue to keep their infield in.
Looper wins 6+. Still a runner out there that is his responsibility. DeFelice one batter and a big out, getting Iannetta to pop up. Tying run at third base. And Coffey in to face Seth Smith, who has been one of Jim Tracy's best pinch hitters this year.
Yeah, Smith 6 for 16 so far this year as a pinch hitter with 4 RBIs.
Infield in. Smith pinch hitting for Jason Hamill. Rocky's starting pitcher is out after 6 innings, 5 hits and 2 runs. Final numbers on Jason Hamill. Really made just 2 bad pitches. The one that started this game with Counsell tripling into right center, and then the home run for Gamble. Not much else. 5 strikeouts for Hamill and only 1 walk.
I mean, pretty much did it with just a fastball. Didn't throw too many curveballs, threw the slider from time to time.
Fouled away. Smith late on the fastball from Coffey, and it's 1-2.
It's ordinarily a spot where Coffey would try and bury that slider down and in for that left-handed hitter, but you better get it down and you better get it in. You don't leave it up, and that can be a dangerous pitch with a man at third base.
Well, Seth Smith is tied for the club lead in walks, primarily from a pinch hitting role. So you know he has a good eye. And he takes that one down and in. Doesn't chase after that slider. That's exactly where Coffey wanted to put that pitch.
And that's what we were talking about. The last thing you want to do is throw that slider and be worried that the catcher's not going to block it. You don't have to worry about that too much with Kendall. Leave that pitch up, that's trouble.
Tying run at third, 1 out. Rockies batting in the 7th. And Smith takes a ball inside. Man, oh man, that was close.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, it was. I don't know how you take this pitch, but he's rewarded for it. It had the corner, maybe about a quarter inch low. Good eye.
We'll see if Coffey comes right back in there. Infield in for the Brewers. Great speed over at third base. And Smith draws the walk. Well, he's a tough out. So runners at the corners now. The go-ahead run is now aboard. And another speedy runner is coming up in Dexter Fowler back to the top of the order.
Tough guy to double up if you're thinking double play. Be interesting to see how the Brewers defense this. We're going to be in at the corners and back up the middle.
Fowler has not grounded into a double play all season. The only way to turn a double play on this guy is if he hits one hard right at an infielder. So the Rockies threatening. A run is in on 2 hits. And Coffey just missing. Fowler doubled in the 3rd inning and then had a double taken away from him by Matt Gamble in the 6th. Gamble made a terrific play, robbing Fowler of extra bases down the left field line. Likes to slap it the other way. Runner takes off, and that one's fouled away. Jim Tracy putting a little action on here.
Yep, trying to open up a spot in that infield. You know, we had that question about whether catchers talk to hitters. I guarantee Jason Kendall is having a discussion with Dan Bellino, the home plate umpire, on that 2-2 pitch to Seth Smith. That's one thing a catcher will do. He will get into the ear of that umpire regarding a pitch like that. As to the importance, he needs it. You can't miss pitches like that in those situations. Not that he missed it, but you got to sell it that way.
Fowler lines one into the gap. This is trouble. A run is in to tie the game. Braun cuts it off, and Smith will have to be held around third. Fowler with his 2nd hit. It drives in a run, and we are tied at 2 here at Miller Park.
Well, and raining doubles for the Rockies here tonight. Another double. How about the approach for Fowler? You got to like the way that guy approaches his at-bats. Doesn't try and pull it. Gets on top of it, just slaps it into left field. Pitch going away from him, takes it right back into the gap out there in left center. Nice short stroke.
Braun does a great job to cut that ball off. Otherwise, the Rockies have the lead. 2nd and 3rd now, still just 1 out. Infield still in, and it's Clint Barmas who chases a slider. He can close the book on Braden Looper now. Another no decision tonight. 6+, 7 hits with 2 runs allowed. And for the 2nd straight game, this normally stingy Brewer bullpen coughing up a 2-run lead late. That one's lined into center. Cameron is over. He's got it for the out. But the Rockies are going to take the lead here. Smith scores, and it's 3-2 Colorado.
Well, Coffey's pitch is up in the strike zone just a little bit. The one to Fowler was on the corner, but it was up. That pitch down the middle and up. When he's right and he's getting on top, getting the ball down in the zone, those are ground balls. right there. Barnes does a nice job inside out. It was middle in. They able to bang it into center field.
Smith scores. That was the key at bat in the inning as Smith drew the walk in a pinch hitting role. Maka's going to make another change here and a double switch coming up. Gamble, who made the final out, will be lifted. Billy Hall's coming in. And Maka goes back to the bullpen. Dells and the community surrounding Lake Delton celebrated the reopening of the lake, and the state's top tourism destination was made whole again. Don't forget that Fox Sports Wisconsin will be returning to the Dells July 17th through the 19th for pre- and post-game shows. That'll be broadcast live from that location. Be sure to come out and join us. Be a part of the show. The Brewers and the Wisconsin Dells in beautiful Lake Delton.
That's a great spot. Tommy Bartlett's show. A lot to do.
And good to see they're back operational once again. Well, it's been a rough seventh inning. 3 runs are in for the Rockies. They have the lead. Mitch Stetter facing Todd Helton here with a runner at second and 2 outs. And the numbers on Stetter, his 29th appearance of the season.
Yeah, just another cog in that bullpen that's been thrown the baseball very well. Stetter has been doing his job on a consistent basis, getting left-handers out.
Opponents only batting 111, left-handed hitting opponents against Mitch Stetter. As you see, Bill Hall now into the game at third base on the double switch.
You saw that earned run average. It's good, but more importantly, when he comes in, only 4 of 27 inherited runners have been able to score.
Stetter strikes out Helton. And the inning finally ends. It was tough for the Brewers to get 3 outs. 3 runs score, and the Brewers are behind.
that inning out because he felt he can get out of trouble. But, you know, when you look at it, Ken Makas, think about that 5th inning he had in his last outing where he had trouble getting out of it. But the thing there was that he might have been a little lack of confidence, and so Ken Maka wanted to try to really get that inning over with. So he went to the bullpen, who's been doing so good from that 7th inning on.
Lots to come on Brewers Live post-game. We'll continue to cover the Brewers draft. They've made several choices as you see the final numbers on Braden Looper. 7 strikeouts, no walks in this ballgame. Also our on-field instructional coming up as well after the ballgame. So lots to talk about, but let's get the Brewer rally going, Ryan.
All right, Craig, Davey, thanks a lot. The Brewers down 3-2 as we head to the home 7th. Corey Hart leading off, then Kendall, and then Billy Hall against Matt Daly. Sidewinding right-hander who has been very good for the Colorado Rockies this year.
Yeah, the opponent batting average very good. A 156 opponent batting average, 372 the ERA. Very good sinking fastball, sinker, curveball, and a changeup. Got to make this guy get the ball up in the zone early in the count.
Well, a little slow roller, going to be a tough play. Daly's throw to first, and it's in time to get the out.
Fields his position pretty well, too. Iannetta very slow getting from behind home plate. We recall that discussion about the hamstring for Iannetta. But a nice play by the pitcher. Flat-footed, able to throw a strike over to Helton at first.
Not by much, but Hart put out and one away here in the 7th inning, and that's Jason Kendall now. 3-2 Rockies. They score 3 runs in the 7th to take the lead. Colorado making a bid at their 6th consecutive victory. Longest winning streak in the National League going. And the Rockies' longest winning streak of the year. They've won 5 consecutive road games.
Oh, how about the setup to delivery by Daly? I mean, kind of just standing there on the side. He's got his back foot on the first base side of the rubber. Then has his toe on the pitching rubber as well, but his front foot. Kind of unusual. Talk about overcompensating, trying to stay closed on your delivery. He's got that right shoulder or left shoulder pointed at the third baseman.
And working on the extreme first base side of the rubber.
That's a very unusual setup. Well, trying to keep himself closed. And he starts like he's going to be sidearm, then he gets that arm on top, kind of high 3/4, low 3/4. That's how he gets that good movement with the fastball.
Kendall strikes out. Daly goes up the ladder, and 2 up and 2 down here in the 7th inning.
Goes with a 4-seamer out of the zone. Jason can't hold up. Saw it well, but couldn't catch up to it.
Matt Daly out of the bullpen. Jason Hamill started and is in line for the win. 6 innings, 2 earned runs. Rockies get him 3 runs in the top of this frame. Here's Billy Hall, his first at-bat of the game. Hall came in on a double switch. Rockies have Houston Street closing games these days. He and Manny Corpus going back and forth a little bit. Corpus just has the 1 save. Corpus sets up for Street.
Yeah, talk about a veteran bullpen. Houston Street, Corpus. I got Josh Fogg, Alan Embry, and Randy Flores. There's a lot of big league games in that group.
Hall pops it up. Helton wants it. And it's a 3-up, 3-down inning. The Brewers go quietly in the 7th. We're headed to the 8th at Miller Park. Rockies lead 3-2. Brewers are now down 3-2 as we head to the 8th inning. Colorado scoring 3 runs in the 7th. Mitch Stetter got out of the inning with a strikeout to Todd Helton, and it's Stetter who stays to start this 8th. Brad Haupt leads off. Haupt singled his last time up, now with an 11-game hit streak going. Brewers had an early lead tonight. Counsell tripled in the first inning, the first Brewer batter tonight. Hardy drove him in, and then Gamble hit a solo home run in the second. And it stayed 2-0 until the 7th. Colorado roughing up that Brewers bullpen a little bit. Haupt comes in with impressive numbers. He's got an on-base percentage over 400, a slugging percentage near 600, and a .337 batting average. 8 home runs, 43 runs batted in for Haupt. Stetter strikes him out. So Stetter has come on and struck out Helton and Haupt, and 1 out here in the 8th.
Oh, and that's why he's still out there. 3 consecutive left-handed hitters, Helton, Haupt, and Stewart. When he gets ahead of lefties, he throws that slider off the outside corner, and it's tough for those guys to hold up. And that arm angle is just devastating against left-handed batters.
Ian Stewart, 1 for 3 tonight. Stewart singled back in the second inning. Well, Stewart hitting .480 last week, earning National League Player of the Week honors. First time in his career he's won that award.
Yeah, the Rockies doing all this damage offensively in this nice winning streak without the help of Garrett Atkins, who's led the team in RBIs 3 of the last 4 years. He's had a rough start to his season.
And it's Ian Stewart who has been getting most of the playing time here lately at third base. Stewart has started this year at 4 different positions: second, third, left, and right. The 2-2, down he goes. Stetter strikes out another one. Boy, how about that run for Mitch Stetter? Helton, Haupt, and Stewart all down on strikes.
Well, tremendous location. That's exactly where you want it. That was actually on the outside corner. But with that arm angle, almost impossible for a lefty to stay in there.
So Stetter will stay to face Tulowitzki. And spins one in there for strike 1. The bottom of the order, beginning with Tulowitzki, has done the damage tonight for the Rockies. He doubled and scored in the 7th. Gonzalez, the next hitter, has 2 hits tonight, 2 doubles, an RBI and a run scored, and a stolen base.
Well, perhaps the biggest at bat in this game was that Seth Smith walk. Remember that 2-2 pitch that was very close to being a strike? Called a ball, ended up walking, and that opened the door for some big offense.
Ball and 2 strikes on Tulowitzki. The Brewers down a run, trying to get back to the dugout. Bouncer over to Hardy. He's got a long throw here. One hops over there, and Tulowitzki is safe. Infield hit.
And not much you can do about that. Pretty good piece of hitting by Tulowitzki to get a piece of it, and JJ playing him up the middle. Had a long way to go. Tulowitzki, although he doesn't run all that well, able to beat it. JJ just not able to get anything on the throw. Base hit number 9 for the Rockies. And that gets Gonzalez to the plate.
and a better matchup for Stetter. Gonzalez with 2 doubles, equaling his hit total for the season. Just called up from AAA, where he put up gaudy numbers at Colorado Springs. .339 hitter, 10 homers, 59 RBIs down there in just 47 games. Talk about earning your way to the big leagues. There's Manny Corpus, prepared for the 8th, the flame-throwing right-hander. A 23-year-old rookie, Carlos Gonzalez. Down 0-2.
Takes a pretty healthy hack. Almost dropped the bat on his first swing against Stetter.
Had 2 singles in the big leagues in 4 games prior to tonight. He's 2 for 3 with 2 doubles in this game. Stetter's got him down 0-2. Not only did Gonzalez have the 10 home runs at AAA, as you see Chris Smith loosening, he also belted out 12 doubles and 7 triples. A slugging percentage off the charts. Runner takes off. Gonzalez takes. Kendall's throw into center field. Tulowitzki steals second base. And now the Rockies have a man in scoring position.
They went on the first move by Stetter. Stetter really not all that quick to home plate. That high leg kick. Tulowitzki takes off. Good throw gets him, but it bounced. Just trying to get into scoring position.
The Rockies with 2 stolen bases tonight. 1-2 to Gonzalez. And he goes. A strikeout for Stetter. 4 strikeouts for Mitch Stetter in an inning and a third. The top of the order is coming up. Counsell, Hardy, and Braun down a run. To the bottom of the 8th at our Menards, game reset. Matt Gamble, his first Miller Park home run. That was back in the 2nd inning with 1 out. Gamble's 2nd home run of the year. Dexter Fowler has 2 doubles tonight. Had an RBI double in the 7th inning. That tied this game. And then Clint Barmas stays hot at the plate. Barmas has been one of the hottest of the Colorado Rockies. Has a hit tonight, a sacrifice fly and an RBI, put Colorado on top. And it's 3-2 as we head to the home 8th. Our Miller Lite What's on Tap. The series continues tomorrow on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Manny Corpus in the game for the Rockies. And he faces the top of the order. Counsell, Hardy, and Braun. with the Brewers down by a single run here in the home eighth. Corpus got off to a shaky start, but 4 of his last 5 outings have been scoreless and has 6 strikeouts in his last 4 innings. See the numbers on Craig Counsell at the plate, presented by Wendy's. Tripled and scored in the first, trying to reach base here in the 8th.
Yeah, Corpus is a guy that can pitch an awful lot. He leads the Rockies bullpen in appearances and led the team last year in appearances. Appearance number 29, but you see he's been giving up some hits at 5.74 earned run average.
Counsell takes a tough slider down and in. Good take by Counsell. Evens the count at 2-2. Corpus was given the closer's job 2 seasons ago. Lost it to Brian Fuentes. And this year, Houston Street closing games for the Rockies. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Corpus wanted that one. Close pitch.
Tough pitch to take with 2 strikes. Just off the inside corner. Wow.
And Jim Tracy barking at Dan Bellino.
That was a pitch like that got Seth Smith a walk earlier.
Counsell over to Helton, and the Gold Glover scoops it up for the first out. Counsell hit it sharply, but right at Helton.
And that's not a guy you want to test defensively. It's about as good as it gets at first base. Hit it hard, and he goes down to smother it just to make sure, and takes it himself.
3 Gold Gloves in his career, Todd Helton. And now Manny Corpus. I don't know if something went wrong on the mound, but the athletic trainer is out for the Rockies.
Now he's laughing, so it can't be anything too serious. Probably on his way over to cover first base. Might have slipped, maybe had a little bit of a tug somewhere in the leg.
Well, Corpus looks like he's all right. J.J. Hardy will hit next. They're going to make Corpus throw a couple, though, just to make sure. Corpus leads this Rocky staff with 29 appearances this year and has led the Rockies in appearance the last 2 seasons. Braun would be next. The Brewers have not had a base runner since Kendall's single in the 4th inning. $11 in a row retired by the Colorado pitchers. Alan Embry, the lefty, perhaps for fielder if somebody's on. Iannetta setting up outside again. And Hardy drives that one into right center field. On the run is Haup, and he lays out, and he's got it for the out. Brad Haup steals another one from J.J. Hardy. That's the 2nd time tonight Hardy has been robbed of a base hit.
Man, it's getting to be a nightly occurrence for J.J. Hardy to hit a ball well. This one hung up just long enough to allow Haup to get there. The fact that he's a left-handed thrower made that play a little bit easier. Didn't have to play it on the backhand, but able to haul it in.
Well, the Brewers running out of outs here. 2 gone in the 8th, and here is Braun. And a fastball strike. Well located fastball from Corpus. Tough 0 for 4 tonight for J.J. Hardy. Oh, and 2.
0 for 4 could have been 2 for 4, but he does have the RBI in the first inning.
Brewers had a 2-0 lead after 2 innings tonight. But Jason Hamels settled down and is now the pitcher of record on the win side for the Rockies. Little bouncer, that's going to roll foul. All 3 runs for the Rockies came in the 7th. RBIs from Gonzalez, Fowler, and Barmas. Braun hit 2 game-tying home runs Sunday in Atlanta. A long ball here squares it up at 3. 1-2.
Well, Manny Corpus, because of that, knowing that a home run ties it up, going to stay away from Ryan. But Ryan's been handling that pitch pretty well for the last couple of weeks. Gets one up, gets too much of the plate. Look out.
Back outside. Braun hangs tough. It is going to be very interesting if Fielder comes to the plate in this inning. Jim Tracy will have a decision to make at that point.
Well, there's only one reason why Embry's up in the bullpen. It's the only left-hander in the Brewer lineup. Right now, anyway. Gamel's out of the ball game. Got to believe if Prince gets in that bat here, it's going to be Embry.
And Embry has been struggling as of late for the Rockies. Laying in wait. Braun doing all he can to reach. One ball, 2 strikes on Braun, and Iannetta on his way to the mound. He wants to talk it over with Corpus. You could tell those two weren't on the same page.
Well, Iannetta might want to try and sneak one inside on Brawny. Corpus apparently not comfortable doing that, so they're doing the right thing going out and having a chat.
Corpus pitched in the World Baseball Classic this spring for Panama. Iannetta and Braun were teammates on the United States team in the World Baseball Classic. Fastball away is the call. Here's the 1-2. And Braun takes one off the plate. 2-2. Pretty good spot.
Question is, do they want to try and go inside? Dangerous spot late in the ball game.
Going with a slider here. The 2-2. And Braun just stays alive. And you can tell Corpus wanted the strikeout on that pitch.
Yeah, that pitch a little bit off the outside corner, but we've been seeing Brawny foul that pitch off for a couple of years now. Covers that outside corner pretty well.
And now what's it going to be for Corpus? Coming back with a fastball. And Braun chases it. Down he goes. Manny Corpus goes right through the Brewers' top of the order. 1, 2, 3. And we are headed for the 9th. 3-2 Colorado.
Vote Prince.
Vote early, vote often, vote Brewers, and vote JJ.
All-Star voting released today, the third issuance of the fan voting. Ryan Braun still in a starting position in the outfield. As Ryan Braun second amongst outfielders behind Raul Ibanez. You see Prince Fielder currently second as well. J.J. Hardy third right now, and Mike Cameron way down seventh on the list. So get out there and vote up to 25 times per email account. And like those guys said, vote Brewers. Vote often. 3-2, the Rockies lead it as we head to the ninth. Iannetta will lead off for Colorado. Seth McClung is the new Brewers pitcher. Trying to make sure the Rockies stay at 3 runs. Numbers on McClung, his 22nd appearance of the season.
Now maybe his best appearance is last time out against the Marlins. 3 1/3, gave up 1 run. Outstanding work for McClung. That came on Wednesday, so he has had plenty of time to recover. 16 appearances. He's got an ERA at 1.57.
Chris Iannetta returning to the Rockies lineup after a couple of weeks on the disabled list with a hamstring injury. Played in 4 games down in AAA on a rehabilitation assignment and was 5 for 15 down there. He actually homered and drove in 3 runs. More than ready to return when his DL time ended. His first start back. Rockies scoring 3 runs on 3 hits in the 7th inning. Erasing a 2-0 deficit. And sitting on a 3-2 lead now as Iannetta fouls it away. 3-2. Well, this Brewers bullpen has been so good all season. It's been the hallmark of this team. But in the last 2 games, 2-run leads have evaporated late. Sunday in Atlanta, it was a 3-run 8th inning for the Braves. And here tonight, a 3-run 7th inning for the Rockies. Cardinals lost tonight to the Marlins. Florida winning on a Jeremy Hermida 9th inning game-winning home run. Cubs lead the Astros 7-0 as they go to the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, the Astros only with 2 hits.
Ted Lilly spinning a beauty for the Cubs in that one. Cincinnati has a 3-1 lead over the Nationals. They play in the bottom of the 6th there. Things could really tighten up in the division. McClung strikes out Iannetta. 1 gone here in the 9th. And it's time to close our U.S. Cellular texting polls here tonight. The results on the question, do you keep a scorebook when watching? 82% say no, but look, 15% say yes.
Missing some, aren't they?
Outstanding. It's like, you know, what is that, like 15,000 people? There you go. Garrett Atkins pinch hitting. There's a scorebook keeper right there. The law start.
That's 97%. Where's the other 3?
Undecided. Atkins with a base hit.
How can it be undecided? You either do or you don't.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Rock. I wish I had an explanation for you.
There's got to be, you know, where's the 3%? I mean, it's an incomplete poll.
Telly has the 3% in his back pocket. See, he's keeping the score.
You're telling me Telly down there all the time, he keeps score every game?
Who knew? I didn't even know Telly had a table down there to do such a thing.
Nice desk down there.
Every game, I keep score.
Well done. Got computers down there. I'll tell you, that's a nice spot.
Who needs computers?
You know, we might should do a game down there, Park. What do you think?
I'm just fine right here, actually.
What's the matter with that? That'd be great. Good vantage point.
Well, Garrett Atkins pinch hits and singles, and Jason Marquis is going to pinch run for him. So keep that straight in your scorebook, Telly. Pinch hit single against McClung. One away, top of the order now. It's Fowler batting. And the Rockies pitcher, Jason Marquis, who pitched so well yesterday, is now pinch running at first. Fowler had a big hit back in the 7th. An RBI double to tie the game.
This guy's got a nice approach at the plate. Very impressive here tonight. Both of his base hits have come to left field.
And could have easily had a third base hit if not for Matt Gammel's great play in the 6th. Robbed him of at least a double. 0-2 the count on Fowler. 1-2.
We were talking about draft choices and where guys are picked. Fowler, a 14th rounder. It's not just the first and second rounders that get to the big leagues.
On the ground, Counsell to Hardy, got a hurry in time. Double play, 4-6-3. The Brewers turn it up. And the first time Fowler has grounded into a double play all season. So now the stage is set. The Brewers are down a run. Can they make? On our way to the bottom of the 9th, last licks for the Brewers here as Fielder will get it started, then Cameron, and then the pitcher spot due up. Be sure to join us after the game for Brewers Live, sponsored by Lincoln Mercury. It will include an on-field instructional tonight. Third base positioning is the topic. Now the Rockies go with their closer, Houston Street. Yesterday in St. Louis, picked up his 9th save in a 7-pitch 9th inning against St. Louis to wrap up that 4-game sweep of the Cardinals at Busch Stadium.
And the former Oakland Athletic closer is 9 for 10 so far with the Rockies.
He was Ken Macha's closer during the 05 and 06 season. The 06 season, Macha's last as the manager of the Oakland A's, was Street's biggest year. Had 37 saves that season. Former Rookie of the Year. Now a Colorado Rocky. And the Brewers send up Prince Fielder down a run here in the 9th inning.
Houston Street's given up 4 home runs this year. That's a lot for a closer at this point.
Has only pitched 1 time during this Rockies 5-game winning streak. Fielder will be followed by Cameron. And Prince in the air to center off the end of the bat. Fowler coming in, and he's got it for the out. And 1 away here in the 9th.
And a pretty good changeup from Houston Street. That's a dandy of a pitch. He throws from 3/4 delivery and has pretty good sinking action on that changeup. Iannetta wants it away. Actually, that's Phillips. No, it's Iannetta.
So here's Cameron with 1 out. Cameron is 0 for 3 tonight. He struck out the last 2 times up. Cameron sitting on 12 home runs for the season. Two balls, no strikes on Cameron. The Brewers led 2-0 after 2 innings. The Rockies scored all 3 of their runs in the 7th to take the lead. And now Street trying to close it out. 3 balls, no strikes. Ken Maka already has Frank Catalanato in the on-deck circle.
And you got to figure Cam's going to take 1. Get that tying run at on base.
Houston Street blew a save on the 2nd of June in Houston. Surrendered 2 hits and a run in his 1 inning of work. Hitters count for Cameron. Three and 2.
Well, he's got that deceptive delivery. That looked like he had a bit of a cut on it going away from Cameron. Pretty good 3-1 pitch.
So Street has battled back. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Milwaukee down a run in the 9th. Cameron, a bouncer out to Tulowitzki. And 2 gone. Street comes all the way back, down 3-0 on Cameron. And gets the 2nd out. Jimmy John's delivery of the game thus far. Clint Barmas sacrifice fly in the 7th. Scored Seth Smith. And the Rockies took the lead. That was the 3rd run for Colorado in that inning. And right now that one is standing up tall. The Brewers have not had a base runner since Kendall's single with 2 outs in the 4th inning. Two gone for Catalanato. Well, the Brewers down to their final out. Catalanato pinch hitting in the pitcher spot. And rolls over one to Helton. And the Colorado Rockies have won 6 in a row. They retire the final 16 batters of this game. And the Brewers go down to Colorado's 3-2. as the Rockies pound out 10 hits and do all of their damage in the 7th inning. Take a timeout, come back for Brewers Live with Craig and Davey right after the turn. The Brewers, tough luck loss tonight.